Dr. E. I have my amazing colleagues with me also today. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Miles Charlie, current Director of Development at Tennessee State University.
My name is David Moss. I'm currently doing management. I'm a manager, been managing for 20 plus years now.
Yes, thank you so much. So as you guys can see, we are doing a webinar to help you guys break through the graduation code, because graduating from a university is extremely hard. I know we celebrate hardcore, once our babies graduate from college. But once they graduate from high school, but when they start college, they go through so many obstacles, and we definitely want to help you guys overcome these obstacles and give you guys some strategies to make sure that they cross that finish line. Well, as I said before, my name is Dr. Fua Ampadu, but you can call me Dr. E. I was a student athlete from Columbus, Ohio. I went to Kent State University. I competed for the Olympic on the track and field team. I coached at Division I levels. In college, once I got done competing, I got 2 conference championships. I coached world-class Olympian throwers. I received my master's in sports administration, earned my doctorates in higher education administration. I worked hand in hand with the provost in AVP at Tennessee State University and helped pull along 40 other amazing universities to help achieve academic success through top educational strategies like OER, immersive technology, gamification, and AI. I work with kids all over to help them with their education through immersive technology and using Google artificial intelligence. And I also have a podcast called The Transformation Lab with David Moss. And next up, Mr. Moss, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm David Moss. I'm a manager, like I said before. I've been in management for the past 20 years. I'm in the master's program at TSU. Going to finish up getting my master's in business. I I also run the podcast, the Transformation Lab with Dr. E. We do a lot of outreach to the youth, do a lot of mentorships, and I'm just glad to be here with y'all today.
All right, thank you so much. And now we're going to go ahead and pass it to Mr. Almost Charles, Miles Charles. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, soon to be Dr. Miles Charlie. Currently working on my doctorate in educational leadership at Tennessee State University. Was a former student athlete myself at Troy University. Ran track and field there. Had an opportunity to also compete at the professional level as well. Although not as much success as Dr. E. However, did have opportunities to pursue a post-collegiate career. I have nearly a decade of experience working in higher education now, and that's been from the athletic side, working in administration and currently fundraising for the University at Tennessee State.
Yes. Thank you so much, Miles. And now we're going to go ahead and hit the agenda today. Obviously, we just did our introductions. We're going to go over the strategies for achieving academic success at the college level, overcoming faculty prejudices, financial and investment literacy, university support services, understanding the student experience, and overcoming first-generation challenges. All right, so for the first section, I'm going to help you guys go over what type of strategies you need in order to make sure that you achieve academic success at the college level. Me and my team has done a study where we look at the top institutions and the bottom institutions when it comes to graduation rates. And we look to see what support services and academic services were available to these students to see what were the differences and why graduation rates were so high at these top 5 institutions versus the bottom 5. And as you can see, there's a great difference between the graduation rates for these students. And looking at these results were absolutely amazing. And I know it's going to help you guys know what path you need to take in order to achieve academic success. Let's talk about the attitude. The attitude, absolutely everything. What is your belief system? What is the behavior that you bring and the intent that you have in the classroom and the feeling that you have in regards to education? Like, what is your mission? And are you connected to the mission of making sure that you walk across that stage? Or are you still, is your belief still a little, shaken of, do I really belong here? Am I in the right major? Is this really for me? And then how you feel and how you believe is going to be based on your intention in the classroom. So you are going to do just enough to pass if you feel like you're not really, here for the education part, or you're just testing out the waters, or you're there for the education part and you're going to be passing on flying colors. But definitely attitude is everything because it opens up doors for new opportunities. So you gotta have clear goals. You gotta set, and also you have to make sure you stay organized. Stay organized and making sure that you keep a nice work environment. This help minimize distractions and help you stay on track. Embrace your mistakes. You're going to make mistakes while you're in college. It is the best things actually to make the mistakes because now and it helps you understand and grow and help you understand your purpose. And then now you know where you need to clean up. You have the mindfulness and meditation. Make sure that you're doing these practices to help reduce the stress, to help improve and focus and enhance your learning. Use technology wisely. Use various apps and online tools that can help aid you learn and it can help you with the learning process and productivity. And find the ones that work best for you. And then also, please, just as a warning, do not use AI to write your papers. It's not a good idea. And I would hate to see you guys kicked out of school for it. And then, of course, celebrate your progress. Like every single milestone and goal that you write down, you gotta be able to say, I did that, I'm so excited. Let me go ahead and do something to help celebrate all my small wins, because all the small wins will lead to the big goal of graduation and walking across that field, crossing across that stage. So make sure you have like active learning when it comes to some of your educational strategies. And then effective note taking when you're in a classroom, making sure that actually there's a great AI tool that will help you take notes in the classroom. So even though I'm big on, make sure the AI does not write your papers, but it will help you, write down more concise notes so you can understand what the teacher is talking about and understand the exact point of view. And then it help you analyze any type of like readings or videos they may play to help get the point and summarize everything for you. Make sure you practice many skills. So make sure basically that you're studying. So normally they always say within the first 15 minutes, once you get out of class, just hurry up and review your notes. It's going to be really quick and they're going to stick before the test that you may have in a couple weeks. And then of course, when you get back to your room, go ahead and practice as well. Another key for when it comes to studying is whatever amount of credits that you're taking. So let's say if you have a 3-credit class, that you need to go ahead and make sure that if you times that by 3, that's how many hours you need to be studying for that class. It's not, just that 15 minutes that I told you about, but definitely sitting down and making sure that you're really digesting that material. Break down information into chunks so you're not trying to swallow the whole elephant. Use memory techniques. And then of course, spaced repetition. So other strategies are teaching others, making sure that you give feedback, stay curious. So always have an open mind, always ask the question why, never just be satisfied with information as is. Make sure you take frequent breaks, because when you just try to take in everything so much at the same time, it's going to be very hard to remember everything at the same time. So just giving your body, breaks. It's kind of like working out. You don't want to work out 7 days a week. You want to give your body breaks. So like if you're weightlifting, you don't want to weightlift Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you want to make sure that, hey, I'm throwing on some cardio in between those days. I'm doing some yoga, stretching it out. Other than that, it causes injuries. Sorry, it turned into a sports thing real quickly, but I'm back. Use multiple resources. So when you're studying, it's great to not just look inside the book, but also be creative to get outside the book. Find out ways that you can review videos, you can practice by doing, collaborate with others that help stick whatever information that you need inside your head for what tests or quizzes you might have coming up. Join study groups, get adequate sleep. Don't be up partying all night, or I'm sorry, studying all night. You know, I'm definitely thinking you guys are probably going to be studying. And then also just make sure you're having a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you're eating the right things, having a balanced diet, and for stress management, so you could improve your learning and your focus in the classroom. All right. So when it comes to understanding your world through immersive technology, and I want to say your world because not everybody learns the same way. Not everybody's just at the same major, and you can really create an amazing, let's say, I would say curriculum of just immersive technology to help you understand more things that's going on in the classroom. And the reason why we talk about immersive technology is because when it comes to the retainment of information, you've got to understand that lectures, you only retain 5% of them. Reading, only 10%. Audio is 20%. And demonstration is 30%. But when you get to discussion groups, practice by doing and teaching others, the practice by doing is immersive technology. Because you get to, let's say if you're in construction, you can actually put on an Oculus and immerse yourself at a construction site and what that will look like. And to see if you are, helping out with a building that maybe 50 floors, can you survive that type of height without getting stressed out? Or just anything else that say if you were oceanology major, let's think, hey, how can I actually be inside the ocean and try to figure out, the environment and what the fish, and what the fish are doing. Like, there's another app called Ocean Rift. So you can actually jump into the app and see what like the turtles are doing or the whales or just anything. So definitely practice by doing. 75% will help out with immersive technology. And then, of course, teaching others. Call your little brother or sister. They're not doing anything. They'll love to hear you talk about whatever you're learning in the classroom. And here are some other immersive technology apps. So, of course, you have Minecraft, which is always great. Google Earth VR, Wander. Wander is a great app, especially a great history app. You can actually type in the year that you want it to be, and then actually type in the city and location that you want to be. So let's say if you're here in Nashville and you want to see what Tennessee State University used to look like in 1910 when it was first built, then you have that opportunity to jump on that app and see what it looks like and actually be there on campus. So that's an amazing tool. If you do like art, Tilt Brush is a great way to do 3D painting, which is fun and educational at the same time, and it helps teach you different perspectives. And then also Tilt Brush, you can also invite others to come and paint with you, so it's not like you have to paint alone. And then here are some Google AI educational tools, which will be great for the classroom as well. We have Smart Learn Sooo online. We have Duolingo. We have Thinkster Math, which I'm sure anybody who may be stressed out about the math class you may have coming up, normally your freshman year, definitely jumping on one of these apps can help. We have the Academy, Khan Academy, which is actually great. Once you get on that app, you can actually say like, hey, I need help with this math equation, and it won't give you the answer. It will actually help you think through the process and the steps that you need to take in order to get the right answer. And then it'll help you understand why the answer that you had is not correct. So things like that will help you inside the classroom. And then also, like, even if you're writing a paper, will help you strategize, like, hey, how can I figure out the best way to write this paper that makes sense? And it will help you throughout your whole thought process. So that's amazing. Make sure you're doing time management, set clear goals, like I said before, prioritize your tasks, create a to-do list, time blocking, that's very important. Set deadlines for yourself, use time management tools like there's different type of apps like Google Calendar. Like, hey, it'd be a nice reminder to say, I'm sorry, when I say Google, my phone definitely popped up Google. To say, hey, it's time for you to do this. Eliminate distractions, time audits, just make sure that you are working within a timely manner. The 2-minute rule, just making sure that you do anything that only takes 2 minutes first, just to get out the way, and then botching. So networking in college. Make sure that when you do get to college, you have the availability to go ahead and attend college, career fairs, join student organizations, participate in internships, utilize LinkedIn. Attend workshops and seminars, informed interviews, volunteer, participate in research studies, and then, of course, talk to your amazing professors who have years of experience. You probably cannot wait to share it with you. So what should your major be? We're going to talk about a couple of the top majors. What is dentistry, which is dentistry, pharmaceutical science, aerospace engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, marketing, and then we have construction management, human resources, nuclear engineering, and then supply chain management. So all these are great paying majors that you should consider once you go to college. And then, of course, additional resources that you can utilize in a classroom. There's 10 OER websites that will help you make sure that you can look outside just the book or the lecture notes that they're giving you, and you're actually utilizing it. So to help you understand, like, hey, I need a TED Talk to help me understand this subject, or I need let's say, like, other notes from a teacher, or things like that, case studies, and just anything else that you could think of. It's all right here. These websites will take you directly to, and then on top of that, it's better than Google, because Google, if you Google something right now, like you say science DNA, they'll give you 10 million resources. You don't need 10 million resources. You need resources like Merlot, which will take you directly to faculty approved resources that they think is amazing for the classroom, that you can utilize for learning. And of course, you need the best college planner ever. You have the college planner for the student athletes on the left-hand side, and then the student success college planner. And there are also workbooks and guides on the right-hand side. These college planners aren't just your regular, here are a couple blank pages, here's a calendar, and then figure it out. No, 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 no. With these college planners, you have the academic success planner within it. You have a personal development planning, career planning, and summer internship guide that will help you through each step of the way that you need to make sure that you're successful in college. And then in the athletic one, you also have one for athletics. It'll help get your mind right and your mind set for what you need to do in the classroom and just life throughout college. And if you need any additional assistance, I think it'll be amazing to join our student success community. I think it'll be great opportunity for you to talk with other people who are just like you, who taking the same majors as you, and who is excited about school and just needs that additional assistance or community to help them across that stage. All right, now I will pass it on to the amazing, almost Dr. Charles Miles.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about overcoming faculty prejudices and some of the strategies that go behind those. types of things. So starting out, students may face different challenges, specifically when it comes to stereotyping, when it comes to being in the classroom. So, for example, the concept of stereotype threat, which is the concept of you will succumb to the negative stereotypes that you're associated with. Well, in the classroom, 24% of students feel that their teachers have a negative perception of them, as well as that number is increased when it comes to even student athletes. That number is up to 44%. So we're talking about over a quarter of our students and almost half of our student athletes believe that they are negatively stereotyped in their class rooms. So we're talking about things like the time commitments, looking at how faculty members sometimes assume that students and student athletes uh, have limited time just because of their other outside or external commitments and outside factors going into what they do. And as teachers, being in that role, and one of the things that teachers have to take into account is the fact that over the course of a calendar week, they spend more time with students than their actual parents. So the level of influence that they actually have is exponential. So preconceived notions about academic ability. So faculty members might hold preconceived notions. When we talk about preconceived notions, we're talking about things. First impressions are always everything, but when you look at students, they're not necessarily in complete control of their first impression. There are also external things that can affect, their first impression, whether it's their background, their demographic, things like that. And just because they may come from different walks of life, making those types of assumptions about their academic capabilities, just solely based off of those things, those are things that, like I said, can negatively impact those students. And when we look at things, and we can almost combine points 4 and 5, when we look at missed classes or assignments, as well as the lack of understanding of demands when it comes to students. That's when you're looking at things like for student athletes, for example, missing for games, missing for practices, things like that. When you're looking at students, when you're looking at just overall life in general, having appointments, not necessarily being, like I said, in complete control of their time. They're at the mercy of their parents, and so being understanding and being open to that. And then on the students' end, making sure that they have an understanding and over communicate with their teachers so that they have an understanding of what's going on. So it is crucial for faculty members to be aware of the potential prejudices and biases that they may have when it comes to approaching their students. Just because, as I mentioned before, they spend so much time with students over the course of the year. They spend arguably more time than their parents do with their kids. So over the course of the year, what you're learning, what you're teaching, what you're imposing on these students, it is important and it does affect them overall in the grand scheme of things. Yes, when people do say they have a favorite teacher, that means that's someone that did impact them. Same as if you can point out the teachers that you didn't like, and you can point out, I'm pretty sure, those specific stories that go into why you don't like them, or how they made you feel. And those are the things that, as leaders, as professors, that you have to take into account with those interactions. So some of the effects when a student or student athlete is stereotyped by a faculty member, um, it for one leads to the pressure to conform. You might feel pressure to conform specifically to those negative stereotypes that you're associated with. I know, for example, something that's common among student athletes is that quote unquote dumb jock stereotype. And student athletes are more apt to succumb to that dumb jock stereotype just because of the guilty by association. That also does lead to reduced confidence. Stereotyping can erode a student's confidence in their own academic abilities. As I mentioned, having that influence on a student on a day-to-day basis and being able to influence them with, your positive and negative self-talk and what that can lead to for those students. Stress and anxiety. Also, feelings of unfairness and strained relationships. All of these things kind of encompass what stereotyping can lead to these students, because right now we're working at a really impressionable age. When you're looking at students between the ages of 12 to 7, not 12 to 17, 12 to 18, that's a really crucial time period when it comes to cognitive development, as well as just overall growth when it comes to learning and understanding overall societal cues, understanding morals, and things like that. So the amount of influence that you have as teachers, as professors, it's really key. It's really important. So when you look at how these things can lead to stress, lead to feeling, unfairness when it comes to looking at how you treat other students in comparison to certain students, or you look at some students a certain way or give them leeway in comparison to what you would do with others. And that can lead with not only just strained relationships with between you and the student, but the students as well as their peers, and as well as with the university or with the school and institution as a whole. So, lastly, it leads to identity struggles and negative impact on performance. When we talk about identity, students around this time are caught up. They're learning a lot of things. Society has changed a lot since over the last, and you don't even have to go back that far. If you just go through the social media age, social media has so much influence on students and on society as a whole. And so people and students specifically at that age get caught up into those things. And that can lead to those negative thoughts, those suicidal thoughts that unfortunately can result as a result of these negative stereotypes on students. And again, as I mentioned, that sense of isolation, kind of being singled out and not feeling connected to your professors, to your teachers, your peers, because of these negative associations, and because you're feeling judged and you're feeling put in a box. And like I said, though, that feeling of isolation, that moment of feeling alone, that is what actually leads, to those thoughts of suicide, which is actually one of the leading causes of suicide when it comes to students. And so one thing is, 1,100 students commit suicide every year, and nearly 24,000 students attempt suicide over the calendar year. And so as leaders, as teachers and professors, it's important to know these numbers and understand your role in impacting these students and making sure that they're in a positive working environment. And so now I'd like to pass it back to Dr. E and David.
Thank you so much, Miles. I'm so sorry. I clicked that button way too quick.
Oh no, you're fine.
On your last one. But definitely what you talk about is so impactful and so amazing when it comes to the struggling student and what obstacles that may come up, or if not you, then definitely your roommate may have those issues. So, and just directing them to the help that they need. They definitely have help on campus. They have psychologists on campus. They have every university usually has a psychology department that you could jump and run right to and get the assistance that you need. But yes, we're gonna go ahead and talk about financial and investment literacy. I think this is very important to know and understand once you get to college on how to make sure that you are saving for life after college. So for the first time, I want to go ahead and cover. So when it comes to financial and investment literacy, it is crucial for college students as they transition into adulthood and start making financial decisions that can leave a lasting impact on their future. Here are some key topics and resources for college students to help build more of a financial and investment literacy. So we have budgeting, making sure that, if you have an additional you notice you have an additional $5 a week, like save that. Understanding debt, saving, and building an emergency fund, Investing, just understanding the basics. Investing runs the world. Everything you do all has something to do with investing. Like these computers that you may be on, or your phones, like your Apple phones. If you type in Apple on like Webull or Robinhood or Fidelity, the Apple stock will pop up. Just find out what they're doing, make a little bit of investments here and there to help you throughout your financial career. Retirement planning, and this is important also in college. And I will say that because once you do your internships that you should be doing every year, once you actually get hired on through the company that you've been interning with, it's good to go ahead and take a look at their retirement plan and go ahead and start investing inside of it so you can start early on your 401k and things like that. Making sure that you're keeping up with your credit, if you have credit cards, and understand what type of debt that you may have, what's on your credit report, that may hinder you from getting something later on in life, like if you want a new car or want a nice house to stay in. Of course, understand taxes, investment, different diversification. I'm sorry, diversification is so important. Just because if let's say an index is a group of stocks, happens to go down, or diversify, like let's say if you have small businesses, like you have a t-shirt company versus the stock market, make sure you're investing and doing business in all areas to ensure that if one is suffering at the moment, then you have this investment over here that is still making you money.
And one of the ways that can happen is just like you invest in these companies and you can get dividends off the top. So you're not like immediately investing, but once they give their annual reports, whatever, they're kicking you out a little bit of change. It all depends on how much they are to give back to you. But that's one thing that you can also look into as far as investment diversification, because dividends do pay and pay monthly, and you have to watch your stock, but you don't have to do a whole lot to it, like trading and all that other type of stuff. It pays you.
But compound interest, definitely, if you start investing now, then you'll have way more money than if you decide to go ahead and start investing later on. So if you have your money, let's say in a savings account, you're only going to get about 2 to 3% a year just for having your money inside there. When you invest inside an actual like VTO, Vanguard, or something like that, it pays you out way more. So you'll have more wealth early on, because you started early, because compound interest every year matters. So you definitely want to make sure that you understand compound interest and making the right choices so you can hopefully retire early. Of course, risk tolerance, making sure that you're not taking risky things, making risky investments and don't understand what you're investing in. And then also, if you do understand what you're investing in, make sure you're not investing all your money into one thing, and then it may flop or may take a long time for you to get your money back, and it puts you in a tight spot. And then of course, investment
Also, hold on, the piggyback off of that risk tolerance, that right there, that's not just as far as investing, but that will help you in life. Like the risk tolerance as far as not putting your whole all into something and not putting everything into knowing how much to put in, how much to take out. So you're not putting too much of yourself on the line, as well as investments. That goes back to real life as well. So that's one of those things where investing can help you in real life, and it tag teams to make you a better person.
Right. And then David will go ahead and go over the next slide.
So now we're still doing finance. So right now we're doing financial markets. So it's different type of financial markets you can get into when you get into investing. It's forex, stock market, different ways you can trade and invest. So all those different type of avenues, that's really good to look into to further your money long term financial goals. That's like future investing. So if you don't want to like trade everyday trade or something like that, you will put your money in now for later on down the line. And you will look at your company, who you invested in, and how you want to invest it, and what their stats is, what they do on a daily basis to know that you're investing in the right company and doing the right thing. So that's always something that you could look up on and make sure that you're doing the right thing when you're long-term investing, because this is for the future you. Online courses and workshops are always good, especially nowadays, because everybody has something out there for you. Because thank you to COVID, one of the good things that came out of COVID is now that we have a lot of books and podcasts and financial apps and advisors out there, and most of everybody has a group or something that you can get into, a peer group or a chat that you get into, and that you can match wits with, and iron sharpens iron. So they might tell you some things, you can tell them some things. Y'all piggyback off of each other. They say, "Hey, did you look at this? Did you look at this company? Did you look at that company?" That's always a good thing. So COVID really did help and push that narrative for everybody with the books and but some of the podcasts, just watch who you're watching and make sure that they're validated, because sometimes people can tell you anything or trying to sell you dreams, and not all information is good information. So online investing platforms is always good. Your Robinhoods, it's all type of online investing platform. That's another thing that you have to go into for yourself to see how you want to invest. But always do your research. Research on all of these things, especially when finance is involved, because that's your money. That's your future money. That's your right now money. That's you flipping money. That's you losing money. So you want to keep a hold of that and what you do. And really, nobody really teaches about finances unless you go into like a business class or something. So if you get ahead of that now while you're on your way into school, that'd be great. That we've dropped these ideas in your head, because, like, once again, unless you're in like a business type class, a lot of people don't tell you about finance, and then you got to pay financial aid. You get financial aid, student loans, and stuff like that. So you have to pay that stuff back. So it's really good to see what you're investing your money in and how it's going. And the last thing, stay informed. Like, you always got to stay informed on what's going on in the world. It's the 3 C's that'll get you through the world. Is current events, common sense, and consequences, I believe it is. But your 3 C's will get you through the world. If you're watching on what's going on in current events, you turn on the news, you watch your little investing shows and stuff like that, CNBC and all that good stuff. You see what's going on, and then you use your common sense on what to do. And on what to do, how to invest. Some things are just self-explanatory. Some things you can go off your gut. That's not always good, but you can do that. And then your calculation. That's what the other key was. Your calculations. What's your money like? How you want to have risk tolerance? How much you willing to invest? How much you willing to not invest? You don't want to invest everything. You want to have your something set to the side in case a rainy day happens, or in case your stock didn't go the way you wanted to. You can go back in, or whatever it is. Doesn't have to be stock. Whatever you're investing, but if it takes a wrong turn on you, you're ready for the next challenge. So we're going to move on to the next slide.
Yes, thank you so much, David. And now we are going to go ahead and let David also talk more about the support services at your university.
So yeah, when it comes to support services, you got your academic advisors to help students with select courses. Your advisors help you. It's supposed to keep you on track of what you're doing, the classes you need for your field to help you graduate. Same thing as having an advisor in high school. Same difference. They get you there, let you know where your credit's at, what you need to do, what you could do better. Maybe you need to talk to your teacher on your office hours or something like that. They can give you advice on those things. You got the tutoring center. Everywhere, every college will have a tutoring center for you. If because everybody's not going to be good at math or science or whatever, especially when you go to the next level. So there's always a tutoring process there to help you at any university you go to. Everywhere has tutoring. And the same thing with career services. Everywhere also has career services for you, writing resumes, interview preps, job placements. Some places that help you like dress for success. Now have like dress fairs. You can get cheap clothes and stuff like that. And suits, ties, dresses, so you can look professional, like part of professional development. The next, you want to go to counseling and mental health services. This is very, very, very important. Nothing's more important than your mental health, because college can be stressful. Life is stressful. Family, everybody has family. Everybody has issues and situations. So you want to make sure that you're preparing yourself and that you're talking to somebody. Always talk to somebody. Never hold everything inside. And there's people on campus for you to talk to, and counselors that'll help you through these certain situations. You can scroll up for me. Next would be your health services. You know, everybody got the nursing centers and stuff, medical centers on campus, physical training stuff to help you out. You always so if you need help in that situation is there. Of course, you're going to need to know your financial aid office. Everybody needs to know that because that's where your money's coming from. If your money's not there, your house is not right, whatever, you need to make sure that your FAFSA's filled out right. So you need to really start filling out your FAFSA for now, but you need to get that going to make sure that you're going to be okay. Check and make sure that you got housing, that your money's going to be there. So financial aid is the one thing that you have to, for grants and scholarships and everything that you got going. That's one thing that you have to stay up on. Disability services. Disability service is very important because every university has a disability program for you. So if you need help on anything, if you behind on anything, or not behind, but if you have a disability that has you behind and you need just the extra support on tests, the extra time here for anything, tutoring, whatever, they have the disability services there to support the students and to support everything that you're doing. The library services, everybody knows there's a library at every school. So library is there for you, bag, computers, printers, everything there. You need to write reports, you need to look up books, and please look up stuff. Don't just breeze over or, use the little quick tools to write a paper, whatever. You want to make sure that you're really in there and learning things and really reading up on what it is you need to do for your presentations or book reports or whatever that is. So the library is there to help you. The writing center, oh my God, the writing center is going to be very important to you because that helps you form your papers. That helps you make sure you got everything structured right and in the right proper form that you need it to be in. Then we have the math center. The math center is also there to help you. That's another form of tutoring. So if you're behind or if you need really help, because I know math, I needed it. So I went there plenty of times and it helped me get me to where I needed to be, especially like in business. So that was really good. Then study abroad. Study abroad is a really good program for you. Please, if you got a chance to get into study abroad, it's probably like two weeks sometimes, or maybe a month, and you get to go out to another country and get to learn and see how things are happening over there. So that's a really good experience for a student, especially while you're in college, to get out and see the world and see things. Because a lot of people don't have those opportunities. So that opportunity is there for you to grab. And multicultural affairs. This office promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, as most people say now, and provides resources for underrepresented students. So, if you feel like you're not being represented well on campus or whatever campus it is that you're going to, it should be a diversity center that you can go and voice your grievances. And next we have student organizations clubs. Student organizations is really good, so you can feel like to get into. You can feel like you can get into something, be a part of something. It's an opportunity to involve yourself in leadership and development groups and stuff like that. So that's really good. So look at your student organizations, whatever it is that you want to get into. That's something that you could do in your free time that can really help you in your success. Next, we got your housing services, which I already touched on. You want to make sure that your housing is together before you get on campus. Make sure your room, what type of roommates you got, what it looks like, or give it a shot. Make sure you actually have housing and everything's going up to speed with you. Next, you got IT support. So if anything's going wrong, I know TSU has an IT support system. I went to TSU, so I can speak on them. They were really good in computer go down your anything with your computer go down. No, I had to take my computer to them and they fixed it for me before. I don't know if every university you could take your actual computer to, but as far as if you have online problems with the university stuff, they can help you with that. Student conduct and conflict resources. So another issue, if you have issues with a student or issue with a teacher, this is one of those things that can help you address some of the situations that you're going through, or you can resolve some of the conflicts that you're in. Child care services. Some universities offer child care facilities and assistance for students and parents. I can't speak to everyone, but I know some of them do. So if you are in need of child support services to help you out, if you have a kid or whatever, that's something to look forward to and look into. So then that way you know that you can continue your career if you have a child and your child will be okay. So next we got academic success workshops like we're doing right now. So anything that can help you with success in time management, study skills, and other strategies for your academic success. Those are always good to go to because that's always going to push you forward and make you a better student. It's all about making you a better student and getting you to that graduation finish line. And peer mentoring peer mentoring programs connects experienced students with newcomers to provide guidance and support. So you know your peers just keeping you together, telling you can make it, helping you out, also telling you where you can go if you need extra help with some of these things. They can point you in the right direction, like upperclassmen or whatever. It will point you where you need to be because they've been there and done that. So please always speak up, and if you have questions, ask somebody that you're asking for help and moving forward. So next we have student uh, Bidman's office. It helps students address concerns and conflicts with the university. So if you're having personal situations with the university, you feel like some things ain't going right there, or some things are not going right there, you can address your grievances there with things that you think need to be changed on the university. Health and healthness, healthness and wellness center, the center that it's a gym provides health and wellness for you. You can go in there, work out, get yourself together, stay in shape, drink your water, which is always good for you. And next we have the International Student Service that assists for international students with visas, culture adaptations, and other needs. The Alumni Service is a service that connects current students with alums for networking and mentorship possibilities. And that was it for that one. But those are some of the services that you want to on campus. On most of the campuses, the majority of campuses that you will want to look into, and all that will help you make you become a roundabout better student.
Yes, thank you so much, David. I know there's so many different departments that there are on campus that we don't really utilize fully to our, we don't take full advantage of those type of opportunities. Normally, I understand I was a student. You just go to class, talk to your teacher a couple times here or there and go have fun. And that does not set you up for student success and success after college. So you want to make sure you're taking full advantage. And we named 23 departments that you should definitely know at the back of your hand to make sure you are getting through college with ease. So now we will go ahead and talk about the student, helping you understand the student experience. And so we're basically going to talk about our own experiences and what we went through as college students, what you guys should be looking out for, and so on and so forth. So give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. All right. So, well, first, of course, are there any questions that you guys have thus far? Just me, I know I gave a brief introduction early on. Not only was I just a student at Kent State University, but also just a little bit of background history on me. I was a first generation student. I did struggle a lot when I was in college for my bachelor's, my master's, and my doctorates. So not only was I a disability student, I also was a first generation student. So there really wasn't much assistance for me. I don't know about anybody else. So I struggled a lot when I was in school. And hold on, Miles, were you a first generation student?
I was a second generation student.
Second generation. Were you second generation for your masters and doctorates?
No, first gen for masters and doctorate.
Oh, yes, I understand that.
Yeah. Well, first
So
one in the family with the doctorate.
yes, me too.
So
Yes, yes. So the struggle was real not having, you know, somebody to help and assist, to help like us get like support. We couldn't just turn to our parents and say, hey, what are they talking about in the classroom? I don't get it. So just seeking that type of guidance, understanding the time management and what was like really required, like for me to be successful. And because once I got the time management down, then the academic success for me came a little bit more easier. But I felt like I had to give more time management than anybody else because I was first gen. And it was just hard. And also like a lot of my majors. So for my bachelor's, I did exercise science physiology. For my master's, it was sports administration. So I went from the athletic fields to the administrative office to my doctorate, which is in higher education administration. So I'm going from the athletic administrator office to the president's office. And when I tell you there are huge jumps, very different areas, I just struggled a lot, trying to, find good footing. What do the kids say these days? Standing on ground, standing
on business. That's what it
standing on business. Standing on business.
right.
Hard. So definitely, but I think like for me, especially for my doctorates, I feel like I had the most mentorship. But that's because I felt like I wasn't afraid to jump. Like anybody who I wanted to meet, I'm going to go to your office and come meet you. So let's say for my doctorates, I did my dissertation and I was doing it on athletics. I'm like, I need to talk to the best person I know, like the best person in athletics. Who is it? Of course, they were in the SEC. I was doing African American male student athletes. I'm like, who has the best graduating rates? At the time, it was Vanderbilt University. So Vanderbilt, luckily I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. So I looked up Vandy. I looked up their athletic director. He's been there for many years. He was the first African American athletic director in the SEC. I booked an appointment with him. Granted, I do not know this man, and most likely, most of the time, you cannot do this. But me, it's sometimes it's great being naive and just doing what you feel like is right. I definitely went ahead and said, hey, I would like an appointment. And he took my appointment. But he canceled me 3 times because he didn't know who I was. And then not because that, but also because he was just really busy. So by the 4th time, he was like, I'm gonna meet with you, but I don't know you. I said, I know you don't know me. I just want to come and meet you. Like, what? Like, yeah, I know, right? I want to come meet you. I'm doing my dissertation in this area, and I just feel like you'll be a great asset. And when I tell you, he allowed me to follow him around and get mentorship. And he also introduced me to now the first African American female athletic director in the SEC. It was a great opportunity, and she actually jumped on my committee for my dissertation, and helped guide that whole process for me. She helped turn a lot of complicated terms into layman terms, just so she knew it would be easy for me to understand and help me get across that stage way quicker. And I think another thing, my chair of my dissertation was a provost of the university. So when I say layman terms, she was really speaking high and above my head because she had 50 plus years of experience, and I'm just now getting into higher ed, not even with too many internships. So I was just getting my feet wet. She's definitely a professional swimmer when it comes through the waters of academia. So yeah, but mentorship was great for me. How about any of you guys? Did you guys have good mentors along your way?
With me in my situation, I was an older student, so I was in my 30s when I got into school and graduated. So that was a different experience because I waited later on in life and everything worked out for me in that instance. But I still had a job and kids and responsibilities and learning how to juggle it all, put everything in that time frame that we was talking about earlier, because everything needs to be put in the correct time frame for your success. But it's all about uh, setting it up and scheduling it and have it in its proper place. It's another reason that's why it's good to get those planners that we have, because that helps you set yourself up and put yourself on a schedule to where you know I need to be here at this time, I need to be here at that time, and that'll keep you going together. But yeah, my experience was a little bit different because I was older and I did have other things going on in life, but it taught me not to give up and keep pushing. And then I got into my master's program too, which I'm getting back into, but you know, real life and as far as mentorship, I have a good mentor now. But as far as mentorship, um, doing my undergrad, it was all just a new experience because I was older. So I didn't have like a lot of mentorship, but I was older, so I was able to navigate the waters with I wasn't first generation, so I had a little bit of knowledge from my sister and stuff, but still, it was still an experience. So yeah, but that's a little bit about me. Yeah, I was the older student with the kids and everything going on, but I pushed through and I made it my master's program, and I'm working on finishing that right now. So, you know, it's always good. That's the story about never giving up, and it's never too late. Everybody say, "Oh, it's never too late to go to school." That's real. I'm the living proof right here. It's never too late.
I would say my mentorship journey was a little different. When I was in college, I was not a student athlete. I was an athletic student. So my my focus, unfortunately, during my undergrad, did not take advantage of some of the resources that our school had from that regard. And even when I graduated and started my master's, I wasn't really looking at mentors and things like that until I actually moved to Nashville and had gotten connected, Dr. E, with you, as well as the late Vice Chancellor Williams, as well as Dr. Candace Story Lee as well, and those kind of mentors to help kind of guide me as I was transitioning out of athletics and trying to kind of figure out my own niche and where I wanted to take my professional career. I wasn't sure if I was going to pursue law school, doctorate, or if I was going to work in athletics, work higher education. And so my mentors really kind of played a role in my post collegiate career, like after I was done, trying to compete, actually, finding them to figure out my path in higher education. That's what's kind of led me into athletics administration and fundraising now.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, I
I
think
wanted to add one more thing to my story that once I said I didn't have a lot of mentorship undergrad, but once I got into grad school, it was a lot of mentorship there. It was a lot of professors there that was willing to be like, "Hey, if this is what you want to do, I'll show you the ropes." It was a lot of mentorship in my grad program, so I would advise everybody that continuing with school is not for everybody, but after you get out, if you want to get into those grad programs, I can speak on TSU because I went there. They have really good, help and mentorship in those grad programs. I do want to say that.
yes, thank you. Um, I can't think. Maybe so just like Miles, I did sports. And I was just, the kid coming out of high school going to do my bachelor's. But when I got to my master's, my life was different. So just in case you guys decide to jump into your master's and things don't look calculated, I think a lot of times people wait for the perfect time to jump into, you know what I mean, to jump into your master's or jump into a new life adventure. This is not a good idea. You should really, you should calculate it out, and in your heart that I think it's time, even though your environment may not look like it should be for like you to think that you're going to be successful. Just know you're going to be successful. As long as you really steadfast, stay dedicated, the path will automatically be created for you with your determination. So don't think that, hey, I got this going on at home or that going on at home, that I can't do this, I can't do education. Definitely the of your life is in your hands. It's inside nobody else's. You write your own story. So if you need certain things that are distractions that get out your way, I promise you they will. You just have to stay determined. But definitely we wanted to encourage you guys, if you want to join us in our amazing community of students and parents, please feel free to, as well as if you want to go ahead and get access to our amazing planner that has actually each area, that would be great as well. And I'll go ahead and put the QR code on the screen for you. So here it is, because at the end of the day, actually I'll start from here. A lot of times we think, we end up thinking that when it comes to education, it's someone standing in front of the room and giving you lectures, and it's not. We think a lot of times we end up thinking that when it comes to education, it's someone standing in front of the room and giving you lectures, and it's not. It's really, sorry, my screen won't go. It's really working together and collaborating with each other. I promise you. And then of course, join the community. You're going to love it. And then we're there with you every step of the way. So you don't have to feel like, I'm inside this community of students, but we need more guidance. I will definitely help guide you, just like I and the rest of my amazing colleagues has with the 40 other universities where we challenged the students to make sure that they're looking outside the book, that they're doing everything they can to graduate, and that they are definitely reaching for the stars and ready for their careers after college. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I know that we ran over just for a couple minutes. I know we started a little bit late though. But if you have any questions or if you want to stay afterwards, please feel free to. We'll be more than happy to assist. All right. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. Have a great day.